Welcome to ANR 360. I'm Carl Joseph, and here we take an in-depth and varied view of people, places, and things in Antigua and Barbuda. Today, the minister responsible for the Royal Police Force in Antigua-Barbuda, Attorney General Steadroy QT Benjamin, held a joint press conference with the Commissioner of Police, Wendell Robinson. They both sought to address the recent hike in gun-related crime offenses plaguing our country. After the conference, I had an opportunity to sit with the AG and discuss in detail his plans to further support the police and the other armed forces to tackle the issue of rising crime and the growing gang-related incidents before they get further out of hand. Here's the AG, Steadroy Benjamin.
To date, we only have 12 murders, 6 of which have already been solved. The government, however, recognizes the difficulty, and the point was made this morning in that some of the incidents appear to be targeted to special individuals and involve elements of retaliation, revenge, or vendetta between persons planning to protect their turf. In other words, those crimes appear to be between individuals who have a personal grudge one against the other. Notice, Carl, too, that in these matters, the victims and the accused, or persons who are suspected of committing the crimes, are persons well known to the police. So that in itself gives an indication of what is going on. So these crimes are targeted, dealing with a specific group or groups of people, and not to the society at large. So I'm asking persons not to be too worried about it. The police have it under control. We know where these hot spots are. We will be making sure that we provide for the Antiguans and Barbudans the protection necessary.
If the police know, why haven't they moved yet on these people?
The police have them under investigation and they monitor their movements. Don't forget, the Constitution has a Constitution, you know. You cannot interfere with a person's liberty except that person is about to breach the law. During the daylight hours, they're not going to do anything to be suspicious. So what we have done, I cannot give it because it's a secret, national secret, but we've provided the police with many different types of vehicles, unmarked vehicles, and that is why we were able to keep certain crimes under control recently, because we were able to infiltrate the system by the use of unmarked vehicles, etc. So they are being monitored, their actions are being noted, and we shall do lots more of that. Because, Carl, at the same time, even though they are criminals in their activity, they have their constitutional rights as well, which must be protected. And what's important, Carl, this whole issue about crime must be a national effort. So we're calling upon the citizens of this country to work along with the police. We're going to promote better cooperation between these groups, neighborhood watch groups with the police, so we can share information much more easily. We too, Carl, are concerned about the huge number of illegal arms and weapons in Antigua and Barbuda. So what are we going to do? We have specially trained dogs. We're going to use them effectively to sniff cargoes as they come to Antigua. And in addition to that, Carl, we intend to have an X-ray machine facility designed specifically to be used at the ports of entry so they can detect arms and ammunition coming here. We're going to assist the Coast Guard as best as we can. We have many inlets. We provide them with the means necessary so they can patrol the waters and the beaches much more easily to protect. And Carl, we are going to have a reward system. We are asking people in the community, when you see persons with firearms, call the nearest police station. If those firearms are seized and there are successful prosecutions, we will be offering a reward of $20,000 to those persons. We are going to stamp out these gun-related crimes in this society. We thought, Carl, of an amnesty,
Right.
but that never worked. Under the
You
former
tried
gov-
it before.
It was tried under the previous administration.
Right.
Only about 5 or 6 firearms came in. We tried it under our administration. Only about 4 firearms came in. That does not work. So we're going the other limb now by having this reward system in place, where we will be making a reward of $20,000. Also, Carl, I'm calling upon all Antiguans and Barbudans. We are a small society. We know each other. There are persons who work nowhere. They drive the most fancy cars. They wear the best clothes. Something is wrong. Report that matter to the police. Let's investigate the matter. Let's get the intelligence going so we can curb and stop those elements from going forward in Antigua and Barbuda.
If these elements, and like I'll give you 2 examples recent, the one in Cedar Grove,
Yes.
that was a big retaliation.
Clearly.
I think the
Or
police
revenge.
had moved and dealt with the gentleman in question. But there are many other instances like
Yes,
that. A pregnant woman, 3 months old, 3
Yes,
months pregnant,
pregnant.
died in that instance. So a lot of people would criticize and say maybe the police are moving too slowly. Maybe even in some instances, again, this is the public saying that maybe the police are in cahoots. How do you get to the root of the problem so that you prevent, things like that from happening?
It's unfortunate that people could even dare think that police in cahoots with criminals. Don't you understand, Carl, that in that particular case of the Cedar Grove, a man was shot as he left a fete going towards his car. The police got information. They investigated and they brought in somebody whom they believed on the evidence had committed the offense, and they arrested or detained that individual. The victim told the police, "You've got the wrong man." Now, if the victim saw his assailant and the victim is telling you that you have to arrest the wrong man, what can the police do? You are the major person involved in the instance. So the police released him. Not long thereafter, the person who indicated that's the wrong person has been charged now with shooting at that same person. What does that tell you? How can the police be criticized in those circumstances? There are a few persons, but the police have dealt with them. We've arrested and charged persons in the police force who breached the law, not only sexual, but also criminal in terms of robbery and violence. They've been prosecuted, they've been sent to jail. I know the Commissioner of Police is very particular about what happens in the force. Nobody can say that the majority of the police officers are not good. They are good, hard-working police officers.
And I think
but they're that few.
Yeah,
That's you,
that's
clearly.
what I was just about to say. I think most people believe that out of the 600 police officers, that most of them, but we're concerned about maybe the 5%, and
Well,
the
Carl-
5% do wield a lot of influence within the force itself.
Well, Carl, I'm so surprised to hear that, because our small, lovely country, Antigua and Barbuda, we listen a lot to rumors, to hearsay. The moment somebody says anything bad, they grab at it. They hardly ever give one person the benefit of the doubt. People are quick to believe evil. That's how they think. But I can assure you, a lot of the things that are being said, Carl, are mere rumors. Rumors being spelt out, and Antiguans gravitate towards rumors. But I can assure you that the police has built within it, the system, organizations, committees established to investigate and deal with rogue cops. If anybody outside there, notice a lot of people talking, but no one has made a report to date.
Maybe because of fear.
Why?
I'm a fear of the police's retribution if I report a rogue officer.
Do you honestly believe that, Carl?
Yeah, well, I'm saying, I'm fearful for me.
I understand.
So let's say that I make the report. I'm making the report against a fellow officer to, guess what? A fellow officer. So maybe that fellow officer, the kindred spirit and the blue
To be
wall of
honest,
silence
yes, all right.
right.
One could understand that type of thinking.
Right.
But I'm asking persons in the community, please do not let that type of thinking be how you manage and guide your life. If you know something, say something. Do not keep it within yourself. Go to a lawyer. Let the lawyer protect you and do what has to be done. As a matter of fact, the commissioner today in the meeting spoke about asking the AG myself to introduce witness protection program.
Right, yes.
We will enact that legislation in October.
Okay.
We want the people to be comfortable that they should not fear to come forward to give information. If they don't do that, then they will be failing in their duty to the state and to themselves and to things in Barbados in general. Very shortly in Parliament, I'll be introducing the State Public Prosecutions Act. Now, what is that? Under our Constitution, at Section 88, subsection 1, it mandates and states that the Director of Public Prosecutions shall be the person charged with the conduct of all criminal matters in Antigua and Barbuda.
How does
That is not the case at this time,
Okay.
because the police investigate a matter and they still prosecute the matter in the court at the mattress level. That is not how the Constitution was meant to operate. I know my predecessors have tried to implement the law, but for one reason or another, it was never done. But I can see the danger of having police officers investigate a matter and still have the rights to try the person in a court of law. When this law is passed, the police will investigate, but the Director of Public Prosecutions and his office will be responsible, one, for indicating whether the evidence is sufficient to charge somebody or not, and will determine what charges, if any, is to be laid against an accused person. Because, Carl, when a person is charged and there is not sufficient evidence to secure a conviction, that person's life is almost destroyed.
Yeah.
Prosecutors are not to charge people just to charge somebody or just to placate the public. No, that is not what the law is meant to do. You only bring charges where there is evidence, sufficient evidence, to bring a person to trial and to have a successful conviction.
Is that an admission that the existing system is failing us?
No, it's an admission that the entire region that hasn't done this has not complied with the provisions of the law. As I indicated to you, the St. Kitts government looked at it and have modified. St. Vincent has looked at it, modified it.
Right.
But we are not modifying anything. We are putting into law what the law states we should do. We're going for the whole hog.
The police commissioner, I'll tell you up front, I've been critical of the police commissioner in certain instances, especially when it comes to public awareness. You would have had the press conference today. You would have spoken. I would imagine he would have said a few words as well.
He did, yes.
But that is not often enough. The people need to hear more from our police commissioner. Why doesn't he speak more?
The police commissioner is a trained lawyer. He understands the law. He knows the law. The police commissioner, I believe, understands his role very, very well. There are some commissioners who are not prepared at every stage to go to the public on every matter. Some commissioners appoint a public relations officer or a group in the force to speak on behalf of the police force, and he only speaks when absolutely necessary. We have talked about it, and the commissioner has told me in no uncertain terms that he will be making himself more available and acceptable accessible to the public in matters such as this Pike situation, we must go to the public and explain what is going on. But he is a person who manages by delegation and gives functions to different officers to perform. So Inspector Frankie Thomas has been assigned with the responsibility of informing the public about the police activities as they go along. But if a matter is a serious one that needs his special attention, then he'll come forward. I have total faith in Commissioner Robinson. He's an extremely skilled lawyer, an extremely knowledgeable person, and he has done a fantastic job so far.
Well, and I would imagine, I understand that the police commissioner can't speak on every matter. It would be foolish of him so to do. But as you said just now, that there's some matters that require and we speak about like the office of the Prime Minister. There's some matters that only the Prime Minister should speak on.
I understand.
In a similar fashion, in some matters, only the police commissioner, not the PRO, should speak on. I'll give you one instance. There was like maybe about a 3-month period or a 6-month period where 2 or 3 of his officers would have been caught up in rape of a minor or alleged rape of a minor.
Okay.
In those instances, you would want to hear from the police commissioner coming out forcefully to say, maybe in some sort of terms, we abhor such, if it is found that it is true, we abhor such instances. This will not be tolerated under our watch, under my watch, and this will be investigated to the fullest extent. And if it is found, verbiage such as that.
Yes.
But we don't hear from him often, and I would think that's a serious matter.
Well, okay, that may be your view, but the police commissioner may think otherwise.
Okay.
Now, don't forget, he's the police commissioner. He knows what he has got to do. The police, as I told you before, and I repeat myself, this is a trained professional in whom I have full faith and trust. I have no doubts that Mr. Robinson is an excellent individual, an excellent lawyer who has prosecuted matters in the past and knows when to act in every case.
Now that there is this new thrust towards ramping up and increased support towards the police.
Do you know why?
In terms of dollars and cents?
Not yet, no. But I can tell you that we have the police, whenever they make a request or they make a demand, we make sure in this government that we give that priority. Without security, nothing happens, Tourists will not come. And apart from that, the people will not be safe in Antigua, and those are of major concern to people. We shall be giving them everything that they need to protect you and to protect me.
Have you given any more thought about curfews in Antigua?
Do you know that some years ago, whilst I was in opposition, I spoke about curfew for young children. Sorry. I was amazed at the response I received. How are you going to tell me what to do with my children? You are infringing on my rights. Let me determine what is right and wrong. What I did, we amended the law and placed curfew on young children being on the streets at hours of the night, unsupervised, creating mischief. And even though that was done, and it worked significantly, as in St. Kitts, the criticisms were unbelievable. I am one of those lawyers who believe that once you're satisfied that what is being done is done in the interest of Antigua and Barbuda, despite the criticism, it must be done.
And given the era in which we are operating now, will we see an increased presence, not just presence in terms of visibility, but actions concerning picking up these rogue groups, putting more pressure. Let's put it that way. Putting more pressure on these rogue groups. How do we see that?
You know, my friend Carl, you're such a good interviewer. But there's one thing: this is national security. And if we were to give to the public what we plan to do will be totally ineffective. But I can assure you, I can give you the assurance today, there will be a drastic reduction in gun crime and gun violence. Take it from me. I know what is in store. We will make Antigua and Barbuda safe and secure. Those persons who feel that they can go on and rob people, we are going to put a stop to that. We are leaving no stones unturned. Mark my words, we will solve the situation.